Shine light and opulent solution seekers. It's your girl, the spiritual activist, coming to you with another word, message, spot of wisdom, whatever you want to call it. So I had to go on video because it just be pissing me off how the devil just don't want the word to get out. And when I tell you, I tried to post on my podcast like 10 times back to back, and it kept kicking me out of the app. And so I'm like, okay, you know what? Where there's a will, there's a way. So I recorded it on my recorder on my phone. I saved it, so I got that out the way for podcast purposes. I could just upload it. But it made me even want to like one up. Like so you thought you was gonna frustrate me, and I was gonna stop and get frustrated and just not go and not continue. So I'm like, you know what? Now I'm gonna make a video on your ass. Like it's just crazy. Like you gotta do stuff like that to like know that you can win and you beat that devil. Like you know. People who know it's oppressive energy and oppressive spirits out there. There's, dark energy that does not want you to bring conscious awareness to wake people up to things that are oppressive to them, that are disempowering to them. And so that's why I wanted to just do this quick little video for those who don't know and who probably just feel defeated right now. You have to realize that there are many forces. Sorry, I'm driving, guys, so the video gonna look a little weird, but just work with me. There are many forces against you, but you have to have a certain fight in you to beat that energy, And my video was about oppressive energy within the work field, with bosses, like, trying to shy away from the word toxic, but because I give people the benefit of the doubt, as long as you're ignorant to it, you're not toxic. To me, you become toxic when you understand what you're doing and you're still doing it. So there's a level of manipulation in there, conscious manipulation, because a lot of times the mindset that we've created, that we've developed, comes from survival mindset. Like that's the root of it, is surviving in this world and leveling up in this world and not even realizing the things we do. Like I was just talking to my sister about how people ask things in a way that's like already assuming that you're gonna do it, or just tactics that people use to manipulate you, to get you to do things that you probably would have said no to or something, but you make it uncomfortable to say no. Or you're in an argument and the term that's been blown out of water, gaslighting, making it feel like you're the wrong person or you're crazy, and then people playing the victim card or whatever it is, that kind of makes you feel like you're wrong in some way when you were actually the victim. So yeah, there's a lot in this world that's designed, and I don't know if it's fully designed or if it's something that just has been developed, in our minds, like evolved over time, just from being like good people and some people who are innately bad taking advantage of that. And so these have become survival tactics, and to get out of those survival tactics that do become toxic, you have to change your environment, change your mindset, understand, lean more into faith, and just a lot of things. So I went into oppressive, like I said, work environments, just the oppressive platforms within celebrities and how they perpetuate narratives, especially when it comes to this obvious spiritual warfare between the black male and the black female, and that dynamic that's being attacked and has been attacked since 2020 and before. To me, the first instance I feel was around, like, to me, slavery. When you think of slavery and all the tactics that were used to emasculate the black man, and how that's created a lot of wounds within the black household, and how the black woman was raped and sexually exploited in front of their spouses, and what kind of impact that had on the way they see their women. It's just so much. And Dr. Joy DeGruy, she goes into it a lot, and a lot of her lectures and post-traumatic slave syndrome. So it's worth looking at. And yeah, these are the things that are issues, like, and they're oppressive energies. So, but yeah, so there's a lot to do with those types of issues, and a lot of it honestly just pisses me off and frustrates me. And the big part of being on these platforms is that I know just based on how the oppressive energy is, from studying it, from experience, from my own divine intuition, most dominant oppressive energy uses knowledge to overpower for a source of control. And so me putting all of this information, because people are obsessed with black culture and black mindset, not to help heal. Most use it to figure out ways to have leverage and to continue to exploit and manipulate us and keep us marginalized. So it frustrates me, because all the knowledge and information that I put out there, the audience that I really wanted to get to, if it falls into the wrong hands, it's used as arsenal. It's used as like leverage. It's used as a tool to further try to figure out ways to manipulate our wounded egos, our fears, use those against us. You know what I'm saying? Like, the more and more we collectively wake up and have these mass awakenings, the more and more the oppressive energy is going to go back to the drawing board. And I talk about this all the time, but this is all the more reason for us to continue to stay consciously aware. And there are going to be a lot of moments, just from personal experience, where you're going to feel like you're doing the most. I'm just keeping it real with you. There are going to be so many moments where you feel like you're doing the most, because a lot of it, you're going to have a lot of henchmen around you. Henchmen, if you don't understand what that is, look at my podcast about massa mentality. It truly breaks down how and why the oppressive spirit no longer has to be there to continue to inflict spiritual warfare on you, to continue to inflict spiritual enslavement and imprisonment on you. It's been so embedded into us that unconsciously, subconsciously, we are constantly programming, instilling, conditioning this narrative of inferiority, of, just disempowering speech on each other that is diabolical genius. And until we realize that, until we see it, we're going to continue to be affected by it. And that's my mission. First of all, my mission is divine union between, in black families, and helping us heal through the traumas, not using our fear of vulnerability to make us rather fight than have these compassionate conversations, have these vulnerable experiences where we're actually expressing how we feel. Teaching people not to use a person's expression as a means of leverage and something to hold over a person's head to continue to take advantage of them and use as a place of dominance and control, because that is a natural instinct that we've evolved into over time out of survival. Trust me, I know. But yeah, there's so much to it, and it's just each one teach one. It's just constantly taking the time to demand as well as cultivate, but demand peace, demand prosperity, demand all these things to conquer that energy around you that is always wanting you to stop. And that a lot of times that energy is from within. Once you can conquer the energy from within, the energy without has no power. You have to be able to step into the driver's seat and be able to realize your innate power and constantly have these talks to bring yourself back to who you are, your higher self, But yeah. Also, another thing I really wanted to kind of touch on is spiritual healers, all of us healers out there, teachers out there we have to, and Dr. Joy DeGruy talked about this in her book too, we have to focus on the mission. I think Bell Hooks did as well. But we have to focus on the mission. Because a lot of times the jargon, the terminology, the belief systems, the spiritual practices, they become roadblocks when they start making us feel like classes, like there's a hierarchy. Hierarchy means like there's levels, like I'm above you, you're below me, you're inferior. You're carrying on the monster mentality. You have to totally detach from that mindset to elevate your community. You have to be able to see that you're no better than the hood, the projects. God has just put something in your mind, in your heart to spread and share. This is all recycled information. This is recycled wisdom. It's nobody's to hold and have as their own. Nobody is God but the Almighty. We are children of God. We are vessels of God, yes. But nothing is yours to steal or take. But give credit where it's due. But what I'm saying is that don't let stuff get too much to your head, because we all have access to this. We all have direct channels to God. You know what I'm saying? The crown chakras can be open. The third eye can be open. The throat chakra is open when you open your mouth and speak the word of God. All of these things are privy to all of us. It's about a mindset of, just understanding that. So don't let the fact that, this teacher says this, we spending so much time decoding and trying to denounce or take away from someone else's word, that we're losing the mission. We're becoming divided again. You have to create a mantra. We have to create collective mantras, collective high vibrational narratives. Collaboration over competition, divine union over division. You know what I'm saying? Things that constantly we have to tell ourselves when we're feeling competitive, when the hater voice come creeping in, when all these narratives come back up, when we feel threatened by someone else's likes or followings. And it may sound stupid, but these things do divide us and get us away from when, all of us wants a certain level of respect and prestige. You can say you don't all you want, but everyone wants a certain level of respect and acknowledgement and their divine, what they've gone through, because a lot of us have gone through darkness and transcended it to be able to speak on that. So yeah, we do want our credit. We do want our respect. And that can kind of get in the way of there's enough shine for everyone. There's enough for everyone to be equal leaders instead of just being one. Now, when you create your own tribe, yes, you can guide and lead them as well, but you have to not get to a place of dominance over them. You get what I'm saying? Let each star shine individually and uniquely within their own right. And so, yeah, and just another thing, when it comes to that, those roadblocks that kind of get us language, get us all mixed up and thrown off the whole mission of elevation of the community, is also there's a lot of judgment a lot of times in the way that Black people have adapted. There was a lot going around about the low vibrational plate. Do you know why that was created? Do you know why Black people started saying that? Because the mind is easily fragile, especially the Black mind is very sensitive. So when you tell a person the food that they have culturally been sustained by their whole life is low vibrational and that they should just instantly stop it like that if they want to be conscious and woke, do you know what that does to them on a spiritual, emotional, psychological level? So what the Black mind has become masters at, that has made them resilient over history, is they have a way of using humor and other tactics and mythologies to, I don't even know if mythology is the right word, but other tactics to adapt and redefine something. So something you've told me that disempowered me or broke me down or, have me feeling some type of guilt or shame, which is counterproductive to healing, by the way. But now I found a way to give my mind ease and peace. So yeah, let me eat my low vibration plate because it's making me feel good. It's good to my soul. It's not saying, I understand the whole words have power narrative. And I know when people say things like this, they're not coming from ill will. So this is not an attack on these people either. What I'm just saying is we have to become aware and understand what the Black mind does and what have we done culturally to mentally and spiritually survive in a community, in a society that is constantly scrutinizing us and keeping us under microscopes and judging us for every little thing that we've done to adapt, which ends up deflecting from the actual systems and rooted oppressive systems that have put us in that place to adapt in the first place. We shouldn't be having to constantly adapt to things. That's the issue. Like, that's the bigger issue. That's the root of the issue. And then the oppressors skate off free. Like, nobody's addressing why. Why is our food so low vibrational compared to everybody else's? Did we ask to get the scraps of the food during slavery? But it sure did make us be able to work in the fields all day long. It sure did raise a bunch of black people many generations. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's only low vibrational if you tell your mind. Belief is powerful. Perspective is power. When you tell somebody something and you try to make it as fact and truth, this is when you use knowledge as a form of control. And that control can be detrimental to a community and a culture. And so I do believe in modifying tradition, yes. I do believe that there are maybe things that aren't so healthy within our culture, but there's a way to bring it forth in the light. That's what I'm trying to say, without shadowing a whole race and culture. That's my MO. You see what I'm saying? And everyone knows humor is healing. Humor is a way that we've redefined a lot of things. And this is why we still are calling each other, are still using terms like I'm a bad bitch, you know what I'm saying? I'm that nigga, this and that. You can judge those things all you want, but you have to understand, why did it come to that? Why has that been redefined? What were the roots? Look into Playing the Dozens. Look into how we used ranking and verbal abuse, low key, to become emotionally stronger and resilient. When you're constantly being beaten, eventually to build thick skin, you have to, and that's physical and spiritual thick skin. So to protect your aura energetically, metaphysically, and to protect your body and your mind and your physically, you create things that may seem toxic to the average person, or a person who's still carrying a moss mentality on the outside, which usually makes you have self-hatred, and in that self-hatred you're hating your own people as well, because you're still thinking from a place of inferiority compared to another way of being as superior. So these are the things I'm just trying to bring to your attention the next time you want to blame the way black people are on them, instead of looking at the root and the bigger picture of it. And this is for all of us to take that accountability. Like I said, this is not to talk down on any black person who's ever done this, because I still do this. This is a battle that I am learning how to detach from. It is so deeply ingrained into us. This is why I said it's diabolical genius. They don't even have to lift a finger, and it's still playing an effect. Generational trauma is still being perpetuated and instilled in us subliminally, subconsciously, unconsciously, just unknowingly, into our children. We're constantly saying things, just a little example. Telling a little girl your hair is nappy. Why has nappy been redefined? Why? Because it was used as a derogatory, or a word that was abusive to us, to talk about us. So we redefined it and took our power back. So because you may think calling each other bitches and niggas and this and that is doing something to us psychologically, I'm a little on the other side of that. Yeah, depending on how you use it, but I feel like there is a way to use words and redefine them. And I understand the etymology of language and everything, but I do feel like belief and perspective is power. And if I have taken a word that has been used or created to bring me down, but I've switched it into a way that now empowers me, and basically saying, you can't take my joy, you can't take my sense of self away from me, you can't take my sense of worth away from me. I'm gonna define myself. You don't get to do that. You know what I mean? Just think about these things. As always, guys, keep God first. Peace, love, light, and healing energies. Be open to receiving them. I love you guys. Peace out.